What's up, guys? What's up?
For real.
Sorry. Yo, what's up, guys? This is Connor with Happy Hour Sports. This is the Happy Hour Sports pregame show live at Surf at the Bar.
See you.
We got a ton of special guests. So quick introductions. We got my boy. Start with Happy Hour. So I got my boy Flash Samurai from Jungle Beat Podcast. Check it out every Wednesday. In the corner over there, we got Coach Rip from the Prowler Hour, new Happy Hour show on Mondays. You can check that out. And then real special guests, we got Jagsontap. So you guys probably seen him if you go to any Jags games, walking into the stadium. So we got Drew and Seb. So appreciate y'all for jumping on today.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Jags. 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 All right, boys. How are we feeling? Do we feel good about this game or what?
I think the closer that we get to kickoff, the better I feel. You know what I mean? I think that as I'm just kind of the way last game went, we're going to be coached up to not repeat that type of performance. You know what I'm saying? I believe in this coaching staff a lot. I believe in this front office, this leadership, to where these guys are going to come out flying around, dude. And as I'm getting closer, dog, I'm getting way more confident. You know what I mean? So I'm ready for a kickoff, bro.
Oh yeah. What do you guys think?
I'm feeling a little bit excited. I mean, to be honest, I'm a new Jags fan. I started watching the Jags in 2017, so I was fed a lie. I stayed delusional. I really do stay delusional with these games. In my eyes, we're a superstar team. We just barely missed the playoffs. Miles Garrett was not down.
Miles Jack.
Sorry, I wish we had
Miles Garrett.
He does that
every week. Every week I do that. But I am excited. It's our home game away from home. I am British. My mom's from England.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
it is kind of like a weird home game for me as well.
Yeah, he's good luck.
Up to that. Yes. Boy, Governor, we're going to win now. But I am also a Doomer. I did pick that up from the OG Jags fans that brought me into this world. So got a little bit of mixed feelings today.
Nice. What about you, Drew? What are you thinking of?
I'm feeling good today.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Damn, it's on my face.
Yeah, Puka's big miss. I know, Rip. You were talking to me about that via text.
That was my byline, and the whole deal was no Puka, no problems.
Yeah, sure. I like that.
I think that the way Liam coaches our offense and the way that he's off the Sean McVay tree, the defense is going to have all the pieces they need, or have seen all the pieces they need to be successful today. It comes down to, and Coach talks about this all the time, and we've talked about it in our deal, and it's about execution for us right now. Not being ourselves. We were in control of the game against the Seahawks last week. Yardage, plays, time of possession. all of the things that the buzzwords for coaches, we want to hear those things. The biggest thing is they had 2 big plays that literally cost us a game. We've got to find a way to clean that up.
Yeah, I think penalties is the biggest killer. I mean, we can talk about it real quick too. Like, this is a good midway part. You know, we have the bye week coming up. How do y'all feel about how the Jags have been playing? I mean, we're 4-2, and this is the toughest part of the season.
I feel great.
We
Yeah.
were 1-4 last year.
Yeah.
Like, it's the
Yeah.
exact opposite.
Look, I mean, I can tell you just from interviewing on.
last year.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's
This head and shoulders.
yeah, it's hard to complain. So I will say this though, I think there's a lot this team has yet to accomplish as far as like what they could end up being at the end of the year. You know, Trevor's looked good at times. I think the stuff around him this year is more noticeable. So like the penalty you're talking about or the drops that we've had. Last week was the first week that the O-line unfortunately kind of let us down. So
Yeah.
we got a tough test today too against the Rams. You know, Burse, Young, Fisk. So they got a lot to deal with up front.
That's the difference from last year, because I feel like last year we did something bad, and then like Doug would get up, cry on the
And
then next week
just stay
the
down.
vibes are down, and then next week nobody would like try and fix it.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like
Yeah.
Liam went in there and probably screamed at him. Was like,
Yeah.
no.
I was
again.
watching the FSU game like 2 weeks ago, I think, and one of the announcers or commentators was saying this is a game of momentum. You know, we got to keep that momentum up. If you go down, you have to pick yourselves up and build that momentum again. I think last year one of the biggest problems was that we'd have that momentum go down and they just plummet to the very ground. You know, I mean, we saw that against the Detroit Lions last year. We were at that home game. And just you could feel it.
I think what did we fumble on the kickoff, and then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
so
I remember
bad.
that.
Dude, no, we fumbled at the 1 yard line on the Dolphins game.
Yeah.
First drive
Yeah.
last year.
The whole season
Everything
went downhill.
Yeah, that
I
was
always
crazy.
say, man, if we won that game, we might have gone to the Super Bowl instead. We went 4-14.
I think this game here, I mean, getting Hainsey back, and that's going to be huge for us. He's the heart and soul of that offensive line, if we're honest. Him being in that center, being able to fire those guys up. I remember watching like the Hunt or one of the episodes where he's on the line talking to the offensive line, just like Trevor would be talking to the offense. I think having him back right now is going to really revitalize this offensive line. And I think they're going to put on a really good performance today. I do think Byron Young and Jared Verse will get they'll get their reps. But I think overall we're going to be able to contain them more than try to stop them. And, you know, I expect a really nice running game today, man. I know that they're really good against the run, but I think that we still, you know, put up some numbers on the board in the run game today. What do you think, Coach?
I think also our before the Seahawks game, our injury report was just like hold on.
Yeah.
And like no one's on it this week, so.
Yeah, Coach, what do you think about the run game? I think ETN has a big game. I think they go a lot more. We were talking about this before the podcast. A lot more like heavy personnel. Maybe do like an extra lineman as like a tight end.
13
Yeah. So, but but even add like Idoga and put him at
Okay,
tight end
gotcha. Yeah.
and try to run at these edge defenders. What do you think, Kevin?
The biggest thing is it's a copycat league right now. So whatever the Seahawks did to us, whatever they saw with the stunts and the tackles and the ends and those kind of things, we're going to get that professional courtesy real early. See if we're better, or we've made the adjustment, or we've put our piece back in and hands it. Who is the communicator? And so Trevor can only do so much and get us in and out of good plays. Those guys up front got to block and got to do those pieces for us. And when he's not in there, you can see. Not that, you know, the dude from USC, the young kid didn't play well last week. He had moments. Got off the ball. He was really nasty a couple times. But the other guys got the experience. And the NFL's about experience. And you got to have those people, because when you line up against Jared Verse, when you line up against people like Brandon Fisk, who's going to run into somebody's face before it's over with today, and get somebody to run free, we've got to have those answers. We've got to have those people block.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things about this Jaguar team, and it's a tribute to our staff, is last year you felt it in the stadium. You could watch it on TV. We were waiting for something bad to happen.
Yeah.
We're not waiting for something bad to happen right now.
Yeah.
We lost a game against the Bengals. We should have won. We turned around and won 2 in a row. How do you answer? How do you keep going? How do you take the punch in the face and keep going? The London experience is always about overcoming all the other stuff. You know, the football game is the easiest part of the trip. So we've seemed to have that figured out. I think our front office has finally figured out how to do that. And Liam talked about this, about making sure that we left on the right day to have enough time to acclimate ourselves, to get all the stuff done, to have the family time that they deserve, to be with their family over there. Like, this is a big deal.
I think it's huge. I think it's like a mini training camp almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially coming off a loss and just a disappointing output in general. But I think it's a nice regroup, a nice long mini training camp that they have. Just the players, just their families. It's close knit. We're gonna be there we were there all week versus the Rams. And I think you're going to see, it's kind of part of the chess match, right? Like, this is a big reunion game. And it's not a revenge game, but a reunion game with Liam Cohen, Gladstone, and that front office, and the Rams organization. So, it's curious. I'm curious to see how the whole chess match goes throughout with the coaching staff with McVay and Liam. I posted, I think it's pictures from, I forget the actual where he's actually from, but he asked Liam, he's like, basically what was the meme? The dodgeball. I know you.
Yeah, right.
So that's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be fun to see how that goes with the chess match between the coaches. Just Liam completely throw the playbook out the window and do something brand new. Does he stick to what he's been doing that's had success? Does McVay kind of adjust? So we'll see that I think throughout the game.
I also think the fact that we left for London a week ago, and they got there like yesterday.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I had trouble getting this podcast this morning, waking up at they flew over to London, overnight.
I also think that the matchup that I'm interested to see is Coach Camp versus Sean McVay. Like, you know what I mean? Because Coach Camp is one of those coaches where his energy is so infectious when he's like on that sideline and he's coaching those guys up through practice all week. And I want to see the response. I feel like our defense showed up last week, and that can get tiring when the offense isn't showing up. Everyone isn't, you know what I'm saying? If you're showing up every game and they're not showing up, it's kind of like, yo, when are y'all going to get it together? You know what I mean? And you may be tired of that, but I feel like Coach Camp really has us in such a flow state on defense when we're on the field to where they continue to play with their hair on fire. They continue to run around and really make plays in the secondary and everything like that as well.
I think that's the biggest change you're going to see this week is we're going to get back to flying around on defense specifically. I think you're going to see them start to turn the ball back over, get takeaways. You're going to see them play a lot faster. I think this is going to be a huge change for Trayvon Walker personally. He's playing with the club. He only had 17 snaps last week. I think it's going to be a lot more snaps this week. The right tackle is out too. So you should see him and Josh Hines have a lot better output this week. So I think that'd be fun to see. How do you guys feel about Travis Hunter right now? What do you think? Do you think should be used more? Do you think he's having a bigger impact today on offense or defense?
I'll go on offense.
I'm going to say a little bit of both. Like I said earlier, it's gaining momentum. I think that he's one of those new superstars. He's doing really well. I haven't seen too much from him defensively. He just kind of fits into the position that he's in. But offensively, he really adds to that momentum, especially that catch that he had last week. I think that really builds during that Chiefs game. Like long 40-yard reception. But I think that really builds some momentum. I'd love to see him do something like that defensively today. Have some sort of an interception or something like that to kind of add to that core that the team has with that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. He's shown a lot of flashes this year, but it's been sporadic, right? Mm-hmm. So personally, I think in this game, and with Puka out, it's a little bit less, but I think he should play as many snaps as possible, not only on defense but on offense too. I'm curious to see how he plays against Devontae Adams. That's going to be fun. So I think he should stay on defense the majority of this game, and then continue to build up on offense.
I feel like because Puka's out though, they're not as worried about the deep threat. Obviously, Devontae Adams, he's still a guy, but he's 33.
But he torched us last year.
He did torch us last year, but I don't know. I feel better about our safeties and Jordan Lewis and stuff like that.
How could you not?
Exactly.
And we can talk about getting torched last year. We're on the cover of Madden.
That's not even getting torched.
That's embarrassing. I got Saquon. I got Saquon on my fantasy team. He's not doing well this year, so each year is different. You get torched by someone last year, and you can be completely different.
So, and boy, just real quick, make sure you're just holding it up to your mouth so everybody can hear you. So yeah, I think Travis is gonna have a good game personally. Yeah, I think
I think he
he's
finally
due
finds
for a
it.
breakout game. We've been saying it every month though.
I think he finds the end zone this week.
I think so too.
I think the understanding that he doesn't have to play 90 snaps on defense this week, the offense is going to have it schemed up for him to have an opportunity. I think that that's the key to the whole deal for us. Is if the pass rush is what we believe it will be because they're good at it, we have to scheme it up to get guys open, and it's time for us to, offensively take the shot
Right.
and make it happen. I also think that's the other side of it for us on defense. Is Matthew Stafford going to be the gambler that he is sometimes because he believes in his arm? So can we force a turnover? Can we get him to scramble out and make something happen? I think that's the key to the game. How many times can we get Stafford? How many times can he throw it to us? Because yes, they can run the ball. If they run the ball, then it's going to be a long day for the Jags. But if we get them one-dimensional and they're throwing it, and it's Devontae Adams and the tight end, we're going to have an opportunity.
Yeah, I've seen Stafford run ball in this game. Our run defense has been solid throughout the whole year so far. I think that's been the best part of the defense, other than the takeaways. Ventrell Miller's in there for Devin Boyd's out today, so I think Ventrell plays well too. What do you think, though, with Travis Hunter? Do you think it's more likely that he gets his first touchdown or interception this week?
You said touchdown. I like touchdown, but for me, I think he needs to play more defense today because we're talking about Puka Nacua missing, but they still have Tutu Atwell, they still have Tyler Higbee, they still have weapons, right? And I think that at the end of the day, Travis Hunter probably should play more defense than offense today.
It's like double down.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, honestly, if he plays an even amount of both, I'm happy. But I do think that he's going to be needed on defense a little bit more today. And I would like to see the interception more than I would like to see the touchdown. Just because if we can get home with 4, I would love for us to be able to get home with 4 pressures today. You know what I'm saying? With our front 4, we're good enough.
Right.
And then with that right tackle out, I think that we may not have to blitz as much as we think. And if we could just drop back in coverage, I don't see why Travis Hunter can't get that interception.
I think Travis Hunter gets that interception. We'll see both an interception and a touchdown.
I would love to see that. Oh my God, I would love to see that.
What's that parlay worth?
Yeah.
Too much.
Look that up. Look that up.
That'd be unbelievable. We didn't touch on, I don't think, at all this week between both podcasts. I don't think we touched on Cam Little. How we feel? So we got a kicker in Wembley today. They usually get a little bit more inspiration. I think I heard it's a little bit of a wet game today. I'm not sure.
Really?
It's going to be raining.
Interesting.
I think it might stop towards the beginning of the game, but I've heard it's been raining there last couple days on and off. So
That's the most random yips I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I believe in him. I think he's a great.
I believe in him. I
kicker.
think he's great. It's just such a weird
Extra point and then with the 2 field goal, missed field goal,
We
2
missed
chip shots.
on the season.
Yeah,
It was the one against the 49ers.
He's never missed an extra point in his life
yeah.
at all. College, high school, pro, until the other day. People have been talking about it, and he put it out in the universe, and that's that juju, man. It's like those announcers. You're starting to see more announcers not talk about their makes until after he makes the kick.
Yeah.
Because it's out there, it's viral. People have realized, hey, you put that out there, but that's your fault. Stop talking about that.
Yeah, shut up.
So, on the reality of it, Cam Little's a professional. He has an immense upside. His talent's off the charts when it comes to being a kicker. Any guy that makes a 70-yard field goal, there's probably just needs to get out of his own head and just play.
I personally think it's for some of these guys, he can kick a 70-yard field goal, but not a 30-yard field goal. Sometimes I think sometimes knocking your whole leg into it kind of hurts these guys. Bro,
it's like the easy layups. Like there's so much. I was playing tennis the other day. And, dude, hold on, I'm going somewhere with this.
I was playing pickleball too.
I was playing pickleball, but the dude runs out to go get one I hit far, and then I have a wide open thing. I can put it literally anywhere, and I was just send it to the fucking stratosphere.
Right.
And it's the easy one. Sometimes you just
Well, I mean, it's a game. It's a game of consistency, especially with kicking. Like you said, you hadn't missed one before. I think it's kind of like a motorcycle, right? It's not a question of when you're going to crash. It's a question of
if
yeah,
it's
going to be when.
Yeah,
exactly. He's going to miss one of those. I don't think it was the yips or anything like that. I really just think it was it was that time. It happened. It rains course. It's going to keep happening in that game. You just got to tighten up, keep that consistency up.
100%. And when you talk about missing layups, I think it's a good transition to Trevor Lawrence. So, how do you guys? It's a split room usually. We're typically Trevor Lawrence truthers, but how do you guys feel about how he's played this year overall, the last few years?
I mean, we have the most drops of any team, so it's kind of hard to put it
Yeah.
all on him.
Right.
I mean, maybe if it's that bad, at some point you gotta be like, is he throwing it too hard or something like that? But like, I don't know. The Seahawks game, he's not the one who lost that.
No.
There was a couple overthrows, but like
Got hit 23 times.
he got hit 23 times, and he still
33.
he still put up almost 3 touchdowns. So like, yeah, almost 300 yards. Like, you know,
So the Trev thing for me is this is, he's on his 4th offensive coordinator in 5 years. He went from being a wristband guy to no wristband. He's now having to call audibles freely for the first time in his career. He's learning pretty much 3 new wide receivers because he didn't have a ton of time with BTJ this year. I don't know what these Jaguar fans expect. The coach in me is like, if you can see the progression, you watch all 22, you see sometimes exactly what he sees and goes, that's why he did what he did.
Yeah.
Then other times you see, man, I think he could have took a shot here on this route, or this concept is what they're trying to do here, and it just didn't work. We talked about this on the Prowler. Coach Cohen will be the first one to tell you there's a couple plays that he probably called that he wish he had back.
Right.
Having a check down, having an outlet is the next maturation to the game. We start moving people and doing stuff and getting to ourselves in a pre-snap set where we know exactly what we're doing. Or the cheating, as Coach Sala likes to call it. Those pieces, you're going to see Trevor just get better and better. The running game is his best friend. I don't care what anybody says. I think we should run the ball 25 times every game. That's just
I don't think we should be throwing almost 50 times.
and if we do throw a 50, he should throw for 500.
Right.
And we've yet to see that out of Trevor. Trevor has not had that game where we're like, oh my. Now he's had moments.
Yeah.
The Chiefs game, we all loved how that finished. The stumble, root screen, the slip six, whatever.
Yeah.
We would have loved that to have been a little more prettier or cleaner just for our own enjoyment.
No, that's just Jaguars football.
Yeah,
But the reality of it is,
Yeah.
what was that old saying? We are
Jaguars.
So let's clean it up. I think that's the key. If you clean it up, the drops, the penalties, all those kind of things, that affects Trevor because it's 3rd and 16, and now he has to be perfect.
Yeah.
3rd and 6, I don't have to be perfect. I'm checking down if somebody breaks a tackle when he gets 16, and we're moving the chains.
So let me ask you, Coach. Do you think right now, is there a lot on his plate as far as the mental game is? You know what I mean? I think are we putting a lot on his mentality in these moments?
100%. Here's the key that can get you to that, and the reasons why it makes sense. When's the last time you heard a coach talk about giving a test at the pro level? Okay?
Yeah.
This is mental. It's not a physical. We got physical tools. We got players. We got dudes at wideout. We got guys at tight end. Brent Strange, we miss him.
Yeah.
Those pieces. What you're looking at now is the encompassing of the whole offense. He has to be able to know 2 high shell, this is what we're doing. 1 high, we're doing this. Hey, we called this, we're going to check to this because this is the best play against this defense. And this week, you're going to see it on the defensive side probably a little bit better because Liam and McVay, that teacher-student relationship, those defensive guys are probably going to be ready. Yeah, and we're going to get to see what else Sean McVay knows in that regard.
Well, the other thing though is we went from no motion and no play action
So now we're in the top 10.
to now we're in the top 10, and we have a whole new staff and we're 4-2. So I think we're getting the job done.
Yeah, man. I think, but this is what I'm saying. Getting closer to this. How do you not have the confidence, right? How do you not have it? If the Seahawks game feels like such a fluke to me. I feel like there's no way with this coaching staff and with these level of players on our team that we repeat something like that. That we would repeat a performance like that, especially
something.
Yeah, I would
jinx
I'm
yourself.
sorry. I'm just, but my thing is it's just so far fetched, especially, and I've never felt like that as a Jags fan. You know what I mean? That this whole new regime, they've really instilled a certain type of confidence in this fan base. I was at that Monday night game. You know what I mean? I was there in those stands. So like when I'm feeling this and we beat the Chiefs for like the first time in how God knows how long. 2009. And like we beat Houston at home and then we go to the West Coast and then beat the 49ers. Like you know what I'm saying? We're like,
That's checking the boxes.
We're checking the boxes.
So the Monday night curse, we hadn't played good on Monday night since I don't know, I was in college last time we were good on Monday night. And I've been out a long time. And so, the London is another box checking opportunity.
Bro, the only box we can't check is Jay Browning.
Yeah.
I don't get
I just
like
don't
why.
want him and Derrick Henry to ever get the same
I don't
thing.
like that.
Like, that's just pure fear right there.
right.
I mean, you touched on this though. I wanted to go back. It's like you're like, how are you not feeling confident after all these things? I mean, I talk to a lot of the fans, probably about 100 a day, right? And on a game day Sunday. And last year, that confidence felt like it was just torn away from me, right? You've had a lot of great moments this year, game after game, and I'm just relating that to Trevor Lawrence, right? Yes, you're building yourself up. Yes, you're building that team. That mentality of last year, it's still lingering. I think that pressure, I think it builds a little bit more because of that. I think that he's like, oh, I can't mess up like I did last year, right? That's where the gifts come in. You got to get over that. As a fan, I'm doing my best. I said I would stay delusional this year. Everyone else has been saying the same thing. We're going to try and do that. I hope Trevor's going to do the same.
But like Coach said, that's why you have to run the ball. That's
Right.
why you just
Take
have
some
to
of that
run,
pressure
You have
off.
to take that pressure
Yeah.
off.
And they've done that. You look at our stats. Look at the first half rushing. If you take the Seahawks out of the thing, we're the number 3 team in the league running the football in the first half. Why can't we do that in the third quarter? Why can't we do that in the fourth quarter? We've played with the lead more than any team in the league going into last week, minutes-wise.
Right.
So those pieces are different. The deal is different. But that security blanket of knowing that our quarterback is the guy when it matters the most, we're not there yet. And I don't think that's anybody's fault. I think that's playing a bunch of bad football for a bad coach who wasn't motivated to go to work every day. Well, now there's 3 guys in that building that are super motivated on top of all the players. Because most players find their own motivation. That's, whether it's a paycheck, whether it's their 7th year in the league, get invested, all of those kind of things are different kind of motivation. This group right now, you can see it in how they play. They believe in what they're doing. The scheme works. There's the proof's in the pudding. Like, there's nothing for them to worry about other than go play.
This is my point. I think with the way that Liam Cohen calls plays and wants his offense to run, it's got to be balanced. That's the biggest thing. You can't have it all. You can't run the ball, 40 times a game or have Trevor thrown it 50. You have to have the run marry the pass marry the run. You have to be able to
Do both.
Yeah, you got to do both. So that's where I think the run game this week is so important, is because, and I think we talked about the trade deadline and kind of like the guys we might want to get to. We talked a lot, at least on offense, about tight ends, but specifically guys that can block and catch the ball.
Right.
Because Brenton Strange, when he comes back, I think we're missing more his blocking. It could be arguably more his blocking than his receiving right now. That might be the bigger key right now. So I think, or the biggest loss right now. So I think once he comes back, and if we get some at the trade deadline at the tight end position, that can also block a little bit better, but also maybe like Joku or Darnell Washington, somebody like that can catch
It's definitely a shirt.
and block.
Right. Yeah, get that shirt.
But I think that would be great. I think that kind of doubled down on this team, this coaching staff, and the front office. All the players talk about physicality. They talk about being mentally tough, physically tough. Like that's at the end of the day, like that's the identity Liam wants this team to be. So
I think it's weird. I think our only 2 losses are the games where we kind of did abandon the stuff that was working. Like that was stuff we did last year. Like first half, we'd feed it to BTJ, he'd be going off, and then we were just not
Let it
playing.
go.
You wouldn't get a target.
We wouldn't get a target in the second half or whatever. But so like we didn't do any we stopped running, we stopped doing jet sweeps, just trick plays and stuff like that in the Bengals and the Seahawks game, and it kind of showed.
yeah. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the Rams. So how do we feel going forward? How do we think this game's going to go? Who do you think is going to be a breakout player? What's kind of the matchups that you're looking for? I think that's a good starting place. What's the biggest matchup, player to player, or position group that you're looking to watch today? You're excited to watch today.
I'll go first on this. You hit the player of the day for me already. Flash. You said this. Tutu Atwell is the key to the game because I saw in person when I was very fortunate to see him play the 49ers on Thursday Night Football. And Matt Stafford, when he runs around, when he's trying to make something happen, he's looking for Tutu because that dude can fly. And that big play that he had down the sideline, the big play thrown across the field, Matt Stafford loves those plays. He loves those big chunks. And that's the difference in our two offenses right now. If you want to compare them, they're getting chunks, and we're not. And they're consistently running the ball. Kyron Williams, in my opinion, is one of the best running backs in the league. And they do a great job with those things. So, can you contain Tutu Atwell in the big play? It's going to come down to that. Is Devontae Adams going to catch 10 balls? Probably, because he's playing the Jags. And he loves playing the Jags. So, we got to be able to control the other things. If Devontae gets his 10 and we don't give up the chunk to him, we're going to be okay. If Kyron Williams can carry the ball 13, 17, 19 times, it's probably going to be a long day for these guys, right?
Yeah, just real quick on that point too. We're giving up a little, good amount of yards, chunk plays last 2 weeks or whatever. We're giving up a decent amount of yardage, but I think in the red zone, this team, once we get back to, you mentioned it earlier actually. Just sorry to go off topic. You mentioned you were surprised a little bit on how we played. I'm not really surprised because we weren't getting the same amount of turnovers. I think this is kind of the team that we've shown we are, or at least the offense-wise, the first few weeks. And even on defense, if you look at San Francisco, they were driving the ball, into the red zone. If you look at Cincinnati, we gave a 100-yard drive to Jake Browning. So we're giving up yards. It's just we weren't getting the turnovers.
He still threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
The math isn't math. You look at last week's game, it's a perfect example. We had 0 turnovers. We forced 0 turnovers. We had almost as much passing yards as them. They had 3 plays over 40 yards. That's the difference. That's the NFL. It's opportunities and chances. And the red zone efficiency.
And it's hard to keep that pace though, taking the ball away from teams.
Average Pregame is probably not realistic.
No, so you can't rely on that. So to your point, I didn't really see this happening last week. I kind of did, and I was like, if we don't get takeaways, the defense is bend but don't break, especially with the lack of pass rush we've had for the last couple of weeks. So I'm excited to see them back in the field. I think they will get at least 1 today, maybe 2, and then
I think the chunk yards last game were also kind of a fluke because we had a cornerback in who we traded for a day or 2 before.
Yeah.
So and it was Joku or whatever. That's kind of happened.
I mean, there weren't many turnovers last week, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I had a little bit to drink before. They didn't have a first down until almost the second quarter, right?
Right.
We got that ball maybe 4 times. So
Yeah.
it's, like you said, it's taking pressure off of people, right? The offense has to take some of that pressure off the defense, right? They're not going to get a turnover every time, but they give you that ball with no score being put up 4 times in the quarter.
Right. Yeah.
You got to score one of those times.
But the issue is with the amount of penalties and everything. They're at most drives. I forget the number. Gus actually that was here earlier today mentioned it on Wednesday. But they started 3rd and 10 plus. Or deep in their own territory the entire game. So with the amount of penalties,
3rd and 11 or longer, I believe
9 times 3rd and 11. That's plus.
That's insane.
And on top of that, the pass rush with Seattle against our offensive line, you're not going to win games that way, no matter what you do.
The other piece to tag on what you were saying is we had 3 chances in the 4th quarter to tie the game.
Yeah.
Again, at some point, it's got to happen. You got to make that big play. You got to do those kind of things.
Yeah. So what do you think as far as matchups to watch today? What's your matchup that you're excited to watch? Is it more?
I mean, I'm really just looking forward to more of the technical stuff, the offensive versus the defensive line on both sides, right?
The lines,
I'm looking for us to absolutely blitz, put some pressure on the, not necessarily pressure on the quarterback, but pressure on, like you say, the running backs on their offense.
Okay.
With ours, I'm just looking for us to redeem ourselves a little bit last week, hold that line, less sacks, less pressure on Trevor, opening up for the Travis Etienne or 2 who can just run through there and just consistently get 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, take that, like you said, that pressure. Instead of 3rd and 10 every single time, it's 3rd and 4.
Right.
You get a little screen pass last minute, you're 4th and 2, you're actually starting to look at Liam Combs. That's something that, I see a lot with Liam. It's on the 50-yard line. and Liam Cohen's going to 4th and 2. He's going to go for it, right? About half the time. Sometimes he punts it, sometimes he goes for it. We got a great kicker, but I'm just looking for that kind of support to take the pressure off of our quarterback and put some pressure on the running backs.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. The Lions. Flash, what's in the matchup you're looking for today?
The matchups that I'm looking for is our wide receivers against their defense. They do have a sneaky underrated secondary in my opinion. They do have Darius Williams, who used to play for here. You know what I mean? He was on a really good Jags team when he was here, and he plays over there now, and he won a Super Bowl with him. You know what I mean? So I think that
Ringside grab.
From Duval.
Yeah. So I think
we had a nickel for every Jaguars player that left and wanted
Oh my gosh. Jalen Ramsey, I still do not like you, bro.
Oh my God, that is insane.
That's what you're down.
Ring chase.
That's pretty much what my key is, because last week we did not run our routes well. We did not get off the ball well. There was a lot of lazy routes ran. We couldn't get a lot of separation. So I would like to see that bounce back. I think this is just a bounce back game in general for everyone, man. And I think that we really come out and we built the ass today, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you, we put BTA today, baby. You know?
Dude, speaking of BTA, the only person who I think last week I wasn't completely disappointed in was BTJ.
Yeah.
That touchdown that got nullified, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
He threw it back and just snagged it from him.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what actually happened on that play? We talked about it on Wednesday. And on
For the
Monday.
penalty or
On the penalty. Do you know what happened?
Travis Hunter offside?
Yeah, but do you know what happened before it was snapped?
No.
So
Official move, dude.
yeah, so basically every time a wide receiver lines up, they ask the official am I on the line? Are you good or not?
Good.
And he did that. Travis Hunter did that.
Coach you guys up.
And the ref wasn't on the line of scrimmage. She was upfield half a step or half a yard. So when Travis Hunter gave him the thumbs up, the ref was like, "Yep, you're good." And then he's like, "Oh shit, I'm in the wrong spot." He goes back to the line of scrimmage.
Travis Hunter.
And then Travis Hunter's still offsides now. And then they snap the ball and it calls it offsides.
That's the most Jaguars penalty
We are.
But yeah, cool. So let's do end segment here. So typically we do predictions. So offensive player of the game, defensive player of the game, and then score predictions. So we'll start with coach and we'll go all the way around.
Defensive player of the game calling right now, Foye Alukan.
Alukan.
Brains off for us right now. Mr. Yale Bulldog is going to be awesome today on defense for us. And here you go. You ready?
Yeah.
It's always an unsung hero in London on offensive special teams. Parker Washington's going to make a play and be outstanding today for the Jaguars.
That's a good one.
For Parker fans.
Did I just make your day?
Wait, did you do your score prediction?
I like the Jags 27-20.
Nice.
For offense, no, you're good. The offense, I'm gonna say Robert Hainsey because I feel like our line
love.
was the worst part last time. So I got to see that get fixed, and I feel like we'll get to it. And then for defense, I'll say Ventrell Miller. He's stepping into some big shoes. So I feel like I don't know what the hell is happening with Lloyd, but he's just going crazy this year. So someone's got to step up to the shoes, Score prediction. I'm gonna say 23-17 Jags.
Let's go.
I'm gonna hit y'all with some straight certified delusion.
Love
Offensive
that.
player of the game, Long for sure. I think he's gonna have at least one touchdown and some nice receptions. I don't know why I just shouted to the TV Long.
In fact, on Mr. Long, when he catches a touchdown, we are 2.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I like
Defensive player of the year.
that.
Of the game, yeah, of the game. I would have to say Travis Hunter, pick 6, easily. Let's get going.
On the same play? Yes, give me all of
Give
that.
me all of it. If you catch interception, you better take that to the end. For real. Score, certified delusion out here. I'm going to say 42 to 18.
Oh my man.
40 burger in London. 40 burger in London.
And it's our home game. Y'all don't disappoint.
Oh my god, that'd be crazy.
I'd also like to throw another prediction. Go back to that. which fans do you think are going to show up more? Right?
Oh, that
I personally think obviously the Jags.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Shout out to the UK fans.
Yeah, the UK fans show up for us all the time. So my offensive player of the game, it just has to be Trevor. It has to be Trevor today. I think that, we're going to be in situations where Trevor is going to have to perform and he's going to have to step up. I don't want to see him miss anybody in the flat. I don't want to see that shit today. I want to see him make those necessary passes, those necessary checkdowns, not, put the ball in turnover situations. And then on defense, you ready for this? On defense, my player of the game is going to be Greg Newsom. You know what I'm saying? I think he bounces back from last week. I know that he's a better player than when he showed. His tape shows. You know what I'm saying? When he's put on the field, and I think when he's guarding Devontae Adams, I think he's gonna have Devontae Adams on an island in hell. You know what I mean? So I think he's gonna Hey, you know what I'm saying? The bold predictions right now, and then my score, 27-10 Jaguars.
All right. So I think it's a huge game for us. I think it's a big time game for Liam Cohen and the team. I think the Jags team itself, you thought they might have come out flat last week. They are not coming out flat this week. They're getting enough for Liam Cohen to reunite with McVay. I think they're going to play really hard, really fast. They're flying around. Offensive player of the game, I'm going to say Travis Etienne goes over 100 yards.
I like that.
I think Travis Etienne. We run the ball first. We run the ball first. I think on defense, I'm going to change mine from earlier in the week. I'm going Dewey. I think Dewey last week, he had two big plays. The two big bust plays that we had in coverage were basically his fault. It wasn't even on Newsom on the touchdown for JSN. So I think Dewey steps up. He gets an interception and a forced fumble this week. And on and to score. I'm going to go 24-21 Jags in overtime.
OT.
Overtime.
I don't know, man. After last week, my heart can't handle it. I'll be sitting there in OT like, I'm still alive.
I think it's going to be a real physical game. I think both sides are going to get theirs, but I think turnover is going to be the biggest part of this game. I think we actually get back and turn the ball over. I think we're going to run the ball well, and I think Jags will win. Awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody hopping on. We got here super early, so I appreciate every single person here. And then also, I shout out to the UK Jags fans. 100%. They stayed up till like 4 a.m. to watch those Monday night games the other day. So I mean, we're just getting the flavor of how that works out.
Fan club is the Union Jacks.
Okay.
I like that. That's classy. That's a Union Jags. Yeah, we interviewed someone last week. He said that's the champagne Duval.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody hopping on the podcast. Check us out, like, subscribe. Go check out, plug the Jags on tap.
Jags on tap on everything. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Go check them out.
It's a lot of fun, man. Thank you guys.
I appreciate it, guys.
For letting us come in.
Yeah, shout out Sir for the bar.
Let's go, Jags. Come on, man.
Duval.